VGDA Week 10, Spring 2015. We've got lots of cool stuff going on. As always, next. So things we're going to talk about during the brief time that I'm up here. Talking about the Jam, the recap and the future of it. Game Lab, talking about the last couple of weeks of development and what we're going to be doing over the summer. Okay, so over spring break, Wednesday and Thursday, we had our Pajama Jam, our all-night hanging out, making games, working on the last Arrow. And it was a lot of fun. We got a lot of work done. A lot of us screamed very loudly while playing Five Nights at Freddy's together. That was a good time. It was productive enough, it was useful enough for us that we will try to do it next semester. So, awesome. We'll also try to figure out a way to do it without having to pay like $400 for it, because, yeah, money sucks. Anyway, Game Lab. Kind of a review for those of you who were here last semester, last week, just with a couple of things added to it. So this is our annual Game Lab Summer Workshop. We do it as a fundraiser where we reach out to the community, invite parents to bring their kids who they think might be interested or might want to learn more about game development, and we use Game Salad, which is kind of like a drag and drop game developing program to teach people how to make games. And I think I covered everything. Oh, and the teaching sessions for that, because we want to teach people how to use Game Salad, are going to be, we're going to start those at the beginning of summer. So don't have to worry about that now. Let's focus on the last Arrow, focus on not failing our classes, and then after that we can get back to doing some cool stuff in the community. So yeah, we're kind of in the home stretch of our development. I think a lot of us have been feeling that. A lot of things are starting to come together in nice ways. And then there's also this, the mountains of stress about our April 28th deadline. But we're about, despite the fact that our deadline is like 3 weeks away, we're only 2/3 of the way through development. So think of what we have done so far. That's a little more than halfway through. So we still have a pretty decent amount of time to get work done. There's definitely lots of work to fill that time with, but definitely we still have very achievable goals. I'd also like to point out something that I realized a couple weeks ago, that if you remember what Colton presented during week 4, when he first presented The Last Stand, as it was then called, it was just a top-down shooter where you start off surrounded and you get shot at and you catch arrows. And if you've played the last couple of builds, you realize that we already have that. So we have, in fact, in some ways, achieved our goals. Like we wanted to make this really simple game with the idea that we could add more to it. And we've definitely added a lot more to that. And now that is our current goal, with cutscenes, with lots of animations, with awesome music, things like that. But we're almost there. So if we just keep up the pace, we'll have this really awesome thing. If people like Brian Kindergan, the student who came 2 weeks ago, they're asking for copies of our game. So there are people in the industry who want to see our game, who want to see our final product. So let's make sure that we're making this as polished, as fun, and exciting as possible. So over the summer, I know it's a long ways off. We still got finals, and we still have our April 28th deadline. But just so you can start getting an idea about what to look forward to, really the short answer is we don't know yet, and we would love to hear feedback from you guys. People have talked about continuing to work on The Last Arrow, get more polish on that game, make it a little bit juicier. And also people have talked about doing like a summer-long VGDA project. People have talked about going off working on their own smaller, more focused game projects and having the VGDA split up into that. We're going to be talking about that going into the future, but if you have any suggestions, please let us know at contact.vgda@gmail.com. As always, we'd love to hear from people, hear what they want to have going on over the summer, because that's about 3 months in which we can get a lot done. So yeah, any questions? That's what I like to hear. All right, so as always, we'll be splitting off into our scrum groups. We're going to be scrumming for a little bit. Then we're going to get back together. We're going to do our group presentations. And then Jay Hathaway is here. He is an animator who's been in the industry for over a decade, and he's done a lot of really cool stuff. And he's going to be talking to us about how to also do cool stuff. So yeah. All right.
All right. So in all honesty, it's not going to look a lot different from last week, but we've gotten quite a bit done. And cutscenes, by the way. There are a lot of cutscenes though, so I'm going to go ahead and jump to level 1 because, yeah, I put in all of these places.
Yeah. Pro art by content.
Do you need a sensor?
All right. So here is level 1.
Oh yeah, green.
Whoa.
And does it move you on to the next level yet?
It does.
Oh shit, yes.
That is why I'm doing this. Although it looks like they changed the credits being Yeah, but also we do have arrow sticking.
Oh yeah, we have arrow sticking.
There's a glitch we need to fix with the Xbox remote where it's...
Oh yeah, it's a glitch.
Oh, you do it.
Okay,
that's nice.
Yeah, it's a little suggestive.
Raspberry.
Oh, that's very
Yeah, this one's short, so I'm just gonna wait through it. I think there's one or two more scenes. Yeah.
Shunk. It's Shunk.
That's her brother.
That's right.
Yeah, Shunk is her brother. Is there music for this one? No?
I don't think so.
Whoa!
We were just reusing the music anyway, so. God, this is hard to aim.
Whoa.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah, well, there's a glitch right now where every time I let go of the joystick, it snaps me in a random direction.
Huh.
So we need to fix that.
It sounds fun.
It's working fine on the PC, like for mouse and keyboard controls, so something with the joystick. Oh, no, my Xbox is growing too.
And eventually we'll get the real assets put in here.
Yes.
You about to die,
I'm
Josh.
totally gonna die.
You about to die. Oh, oh, they have different arrow
codes.
speeds.
Chico.
I told you.
You dirty cheater.
Left. Oh god.
Yeah, we're gonna just cheat to speed this up, but. Yes, I can give myself full health and full ammo.
There you go. And these will be accompanied with music that Joe is writing for us. All right, the last arrow burlesque show.
Thank you for adding the music and sound effects for us. I think we need that.
Yeah.
Whoosh!
That's not how our
Dope.
Actually, it's, you pronounce it wrong. It's food.
Yeah, I believe that was full.
Sorry.
Floosh. Floosh. Floosh.
This is the most polished, obviously. And while it's not visible yet because we haven't implemented it. We do have a boss enemy. It is done. We do have the ballista enemies. Those are done as well. And this guy right here is actually the triple shot enemy. I don't know if you can see, but he's shooting 3 arrows right here.
Oh, cool.
So that would be the multi-armed money guy. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and die because that advance. Ta-da! Do you guys want to see the whole cutscene, or shall I just stop?
Yeah, we want to see the whole thing.
Alright.
Oh, wait, spoilers.
And this is gonna look like very little because it doesn't scroll. So right now
Okay.
it's awkward mountain.
What's the new title of the game?
Awkward mountain.
Awkward Mountain.
Single road.
But as you can see, the entire game is technically playable now. So
Yeah. All right. Cool.
So here's what we're gonna list the tasks for our team from week 10. So we're supposed to be working on Shun's animations, completing those, and finishing up basic Oni Archer, along with completing the little bit of environment asset details we have, along with starting the level 1 assets. And just to go over our art style again, it's Eastern influence, as you can see, Mongolian, Japanese, Chinese mainly. And then our aesthetic is Sumi brushstrokes with watercolor textures for the actual coloring. And then here's just some character concepts that we've had that's helped us decide exactly how our characters are going to be. Shun and the Oni Archer down here are the final assets. And then for environment style, these are just a few of the new assets that we got in from Ellen and Nathan here that was done during Pajama Jam. These ones are for the last level, and the 2 on top is for the level 1. Then for animation, we have Clue has been working on Shun's shoe, and you can see it's progressing a lot more. And then Jamie worked on her Shun dye a lot more as well, but it's still on the rough stage. And then this is one of our completed assets for the Oni Archer spawn. And then this is the updated Oni Archer shoe, and we fixed the problem with the arrow not pointing correctly. And then this was just some of the miscellaneous ones where if the Oni gets hit and the arrow spinning for a little touch, and then the UI health bar. Then for environment, this is what we have for our level 3 map, but we're going to be updating the statues. And then we still need to actually put a brazier. That's just a temporary one that I drew in. But other than that, we're almost done with that. And then for illustration, this is what we have for the cutscenes that you saw in the demo. And this is actually one that Tomi painted. And you can see we're getting an idea of how we're going to render everything from this, and it's capturing I think the atmosphere perfectly for the level 1. And the task for this week is to complete those animations, get them all polished and refined, along with getting those level 1 environment assets done. And then secondary is getting those cutscenes done, along with just doing some UI polish. Like we wanted to have an animated scroll for the menu that would unroll, along with having a more complete logo instead of the placeholder one we have currently. And then if you want to see any other submissions, just go onto our Trello. It's public. Any questions, comments, or feedback? Okay,
All right.
that's it.
Thank you, our team.
bottom left now, and then it was in the top right, and now it's in the bottom left again. For story reasons, and also just to keep her moving. So you're always on one side of the wall. You always are moving to the top right. It kind of keeps it cohesive. We also switched the enemies. So the enemies before were in the bottom left, and then they were in the top right, and now they're still in the top right, but they're kind of scattered within the village, and that again is for story reasons. Keep her moving from the bottom left to the top right, and now they're kind of blocking her path. And it also creates a little bit of gameplay variation from level 2, where the enemies are mostly in the bottom left and they kind of curl around, so now there's a little bit different. So yeah, we debated about that a lot last Sunday, and we figured that this is the best for both design and story. So this is the new map, rough version of the new map. So you can see all the little blue things are enemies, and they're kind of hovered around. And playing through that, what we originally wanted with level 1 was for there to be a lot of cover, so it's a little bit easier. You have a little bit more room for error because it is the first level. So this still allows us to do that, but it's a little bit better for story reasons with better placement. We also tweaked cutscene stuff a little bit, nothing too crazy. Artists don't freak out. And it's all in the design document for the first cutscene. It's mostly just facial expression things, making sure that we emphasize a little bit more of her character. We learned a lot from Brian Dragon's talk about how to introduce character. So it's more emphasizing her character growth from this scared, this novice archer who's seen her village, who's seen the impossible happen, seen her village lit on fire and everyone killed and everything. And taking that grief, her journey, taking that grief and doing something heroic with it. So everything's the same, there's no extra scenes added, just show her face a little bit more in some of them, and that's all in there. So this week, content will be playtesting, and playtesting, and playtesting, and playtesting, and playtesting a lot. That's going to be our dog from now on. We playtested a lot at the Jamma Jam, found a few bugs, thanks Steve. That's what we're going to do. If anyone has friends who are interested in this kind of thing, if anyone has relatives that you can tie to chairs and make them play test, please, by all means, share them the game, or share with them the game. We also are kind of commandeering the subreddit as a kind of QA space. So what's going to happen is Technical is going to post the new build of the game there, as well as on the Facebook. And what we are mostly going to be doing, but you are very welcome to do, is play it. Every little tweaks that we have, every idea for improvement, every bug we find, we're going to comment on that, and that provides us a space to really discuss these and bring them to Technical's awareness. Also still going to be brainstorming extras, still going to be clarifying things that other people have. I don't know if this has been mentioned before, probably, but Brennan is working on a gallery feature, which is going to kind of involve the stuff that doesn't make it to the final cut, but cool concept art, that kind of thing. So we're going to be working kind of on that. We also hope to add in maybe some of our short stories, backstory stuff into that. And so that's what we're going to be doing. Questions? Yes?
Is that going to be kind of like a slideshow? How are you going to present the gallery?
We don't quite know yet. What we were thinking was every person's going to have, we're either going to do it by name, so each person who worked on it is going to have a section, a page that's just their stuff, or we're going to do it like concept art, like a place for concept art, a place for extra lore, a place for that kind of thing, or different categories. I'm leaning towards that. I don't know that that's entirely our decision. I think that's something that all the leads really have to get together on and decide what's going to be best. So it'll probably be decided in an executive meeting, but we are definitely open to suggestions. Any other questions? Cool. All right.
All right, thank you, Connie.